As the decades passed, the sport grew.
This is one critical time when trouble could be mighty contagious.
But that love of living outside the law remained.
In the early 1950s, for example, roll cages were mandatory in NASCAR racing, but the drivers thought, they added weight and it was a bit wussy having a roll cage, so they just fitted them with things that looked like roll cages, made out of offcuts of wood, say.
Another reason I prefer this sport, apart from its rebellious streak, is that next to the spaceships you get in F1, NASCAR machines are beautifully simple. As was explained to me on race day at Texas Speedway.
It's making, what, 800 horsepower? 850?
Closer to 900, yeah.
900
horsepower.
And no electronic aids on this, it's just...
No. So it's literally carbureted. NASCAR wants the drivers to separate themselves on the track. So for myself, without having data, I have to explain all the sensations I feel in the car, talk about, spring changes, shock changes, geometry changes, yeah.
So they're not downloading it off a laptop?
No, we don't even have a fuel sensor in the car to tell us when we're running out of gas.
And these little things, these are the ones that...
Yeah. Just to create some drag when the car spins around. There's also a right side window that goes in.
It's not going to stop you flipping.
They've proven in the wind tunnel that it does. Now, what really helps is this. These deploy. When there's a low pressure area on the top, these deploy and help set the car down.
So that stops you spinning and flipping?
You have these here as well.
Hey, that's like a Land Rover's air vents at the front, to be honest. It's not mega high-tech.
If you're a Formula One fan and a NASCAR cynic, I think I know exactly what you'd be saying if you were here.
This looks, well, easy. I mean, you just keep your foot down, keep turning left, and that's kind of it, really. Whereas in, Formula One, there's corners and stuff to remember. It's tricky.
So, do these drivers who can earn up to £15 million a year have an easier time of it than F1 drivers? Well, let's ask a man who's raced in both sports.
To drive, I always say there's nothing drives like a Formula One car. But this is a lot more unpredictable. They slide around a lot, they have no brakes. I mean, when I tell you no brakes, because the car is so heavy and the brakes are so tiny.
I gotta say, the ovals, I think, are more challenging. And it's because the corner starts way over there and it ends way over there.
And is the car moving?
A lot of cars